I explained the chart of Bitcoin to someone recently, a few days ago, and thought to share with every other person. So this is going to be how to trade the Bitcoin using simple support and resistance. Of course, we heard a couple of weeks ago about the Bitcoin crash. Well, I wouldn't really call it a crash. Based on the explanation from this video, you would understand better what happened at that point in time, what is happening, and what might probably happen next. Now, it doesn't matter how you look at the Bitcoin, it would always look bullish, especially from the higher time frame perspective. This is the daily time frame over here. So you could see from the chart, it's an uptrend, a massive uptrend right from 2023 till now 2025, moving from about 20K to over 100K, with a lot of people, calling for uh bigger moves, right? But then I still had a few people saying that they bought the Bitcoin based on the fact that it's hot, it's on a bull run, but they still lost money. So yes, it's on a bull run, but you still need to know where to enter to buy. And that's why this video, how to trade the Bitcoin using simple support and resistance, is very, very important. Now I'm going to start from here. I'm going to show you guys something real quick, right? And I'm going to first of all insert a horizontal line at the highs over here. Now, why am I inserting this horizontal line? Because this was more or less the all-time highs before we had this drop over here. And when I say the all-time highs, price pushed up to this area here. And as you can see from here, price went down. So that means that price acted as a resistance. When we talk about resistance, it is where price goes down, where there is selling action. And of course, support is where there's buying action. So from here, price went down and then price came back to test that same resistance. Even though there was a little breach over here, it tested the resistance and still held its ground. So this is what traders could also call a double top. And look at what happened. Price went back down. It tried to go back up to that place again, didn't get there, but eventually it got back there at this area here. There was a bigger breach out of this level. Now, this breach over here was most likely to take out stop losses and then also to fool traders. When I say fool traders, to make people think, oh, it's a break. I'm going to buy the break over here. And then buying the break here without proper confirmation, the market went down and a lot of people suffered, a lot of people cried. Well, a lot of people lost a lot of money. Let me put it that way. But what exactly happened at this area of resistance? I'm going to zoom in now. Let's clear this out drawing. I'm going to zoom in now and then show you exactly what happened. Don't forget, we're talking about what happened, what is happening, and what might most likely happen using simple support and resistance. And then zooming in, look closely. From this first hit, that was the resistance, right? When it came back here, can you see the bearish engulfing? If you look very well, a bearish engulfing is an initial candle, pretty smallish size, and then a bigger one, which is bearish, that swallows the previous one. That's what we have over here. And then from here, it is signaling a down move. And that was exactly what we had. We had a down move up to this area here. Yes, and then look again what happened. In this same area here, when it came out for a triple top, this was here established as a resistance, here still as a resistance, but double top, and then came out here as a triple top. It came out to test this level again, and look at what happened, it dropped. Now look inside this section here. Now, whenever I teach how to trade, I always tell traders that you need to be able to investigate. This is a crime scene over here. Something happened to Bitcoin. Let us investigate. Let us find out what happened. So that once you understand what happened in the future, you can easily take advantage of it. Now, if you look closely, I could zoom in one more time. I want you guys to also look in closely. You could also pull up your chart as well and then look at your chart and then see what I'm talking about. This candle here, don't forget it's the daily time frame that we're looking at on the father of all cryptos, the Bitcoin. Look closely, we had this candle here that happened to be what? A pin bar, a hammer. That is what? A bearish hammer, a bearish pin bar in this area of resistance without thinking twice about it. This is a sell. And then the next candle we had was an inside bar. You can see the body inside the previous candle, which is the pin bar, bearish pin bar. So this inside bar over here was another signal, and look at what happened from this same area of resistance. An area of resistance is usually where you're supposed to find sellers, right? And then look at what happened here. Price went down from this area. So this was the big crash according to people, and I didn't take it as a crash. It was just price being price reacting to the resistance area. And as much as Bitcoin is bullish and people are expecting it to push higher, you still need to know where to enter the market to buy. You don't just wake up one day, oh, Bitcoin is bullish. Let's click on buy and then expect it to go up. One thing you need to understand is that for price to continue to go up, it needs to retrace, it needs to pull back. And that's exactly what happened here. Now, as a matter of fact, why is price stopping in this area? I'm going to show you something. I'm going to draw something for you guys so that you see exactly what I'm talking about. Why did price stop in this area? Right? I'm going to do these markings here for you, and we're going to discuss this. Now, from what I just drew over here, where price seems to be at present, right? You look closely, we have here as an area of resistance. Let me clean up the chart. Let me clean it up again. Here as an area of resistance, right? One thing about the support and resistance is that it could also act as a flip zone. Flip zone being an area of former resistance can act as support after it has been broken, and vice versa. An area of support after being broken can act as resistance. So look at what we have here. Resistance, resistance. We have more resistance in this area. It's an area, not a price point. I use a horizontal line here. I could have easily used the same thing with the rectangle, and then I could have drawn the area in this manner. So it's an area and not a price point. Please take note of that. And then look at what we had next. Price here pushed up and then came back and used this as a propel to push higher. So there was some buying here after the breakout. Price came back again after this point and pushed higher. It didn't quite get to the resistance, came back again, tested it again, and pushed higher. So that means that if you want to buy, you are supposed to buy where? You're supposed to buy at the area of support. And that's what we have over here. This now is an area of support, even though it acted as a resistance earlier. After a clear breakout to the upside, the other side here now turns to support. Don't forget this was resistance. So support and resistance is something that I have been using for years. It's something that works. Trust me, start paying attention to your charts using support and resistance, simple support and resistance. You don't need too many indicators in your chart. You don't need too many things flying left and right. But what you need is just your eyes, majorly. Your eyes to identify like the areas that price acted as resistance and the areas price acted as support now. Now, so this is what is happening now. And if you look, this candle pretty much looks like what? Looks like a bullish pin bar. And this is clearly what is holding up this area over here. So if you are a buy and hold traders, quote unquote, this is where to buy this area. And of course, you must always have a stop loss, no matter what. Stop loss is there to protect your account. And don't forget, calculate your risk management appropriately based on your account balance. You can't have an account balance of $100 and you are placing a trade using one standard lot size. That is totally wrong. How many pips will it take for that account to get blown? Just about 10 pips. And 10 pips, how fast can you see 10 pips? Is it in seconds, minutes, hours, days, months? It's in seconds. So you need to understand your risk and then need to understand where you set stop loss and calculate appropriately in order to know the proper lot size. So from where price is now, what are we expecting next? You can see there's a struggle over here. Price is still not flowing as much as we would love. Like this kind of candle, this big candle, because big candles usually set the pace, right? Big candles, you see big, strong candles, right? But then we don't have anything big, strong for buying in this area. Now, I'll tell you this. If you're looking to buy, this is the area. If you're looking to sell in, I'll definitely say here resistance. But I have a mini, which is also a mini strong resistance area over here. Yes, I'll call it resistance, and I would also call it a supply zone. Don't worry, in another video, I'll talk about how to trade using supply and demand because the two of them work hand in hand. And that's why you hear some traders say support and resistance, and you hear some traders say supply and demand. They are the same but slightly different at the end of the day, right? So this would be a very good area to look forward to selling before this major area of resistance. And that's if price should get there. And peradventure, if price should drop further down, we need closes below, at least one strong close. And then this area should act as a flip, and then price should come back up and then act as resistance to go further down. So this is what we would like to see. And another question, if price is going to drop, because people are saying no, it's going to still push higher. I'm saying price could go up, price could go down. You are not the force behind price movement. You don't control price. You don't have the trillions of dollars to move price in your favor, right? In as much as the Elon Musk and the rest could do that momentarily, right? You can't do that the long term. So I'm going to show you something. I'm going to clean up this chart and I'm going to zoom in by one and then show you possible areas that price might probably head down to if it's going to be going down. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a copy and paste of this horizontal line and drag it to this area here. And if you look at the area, you'll see we have some resistance here. We then acted as support. But then in between, I have something over here as a flip zone. You can always extend it depending on you. As a flip zone, if you look support, 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 resistance, resistance. So the same thing over here, probably around 90K could also be a target if it's going to drop, right? So look at price as a, that price could move in either way, either up or down. So depending on what you want to do you want to buy? Do you want to sell? Depending on the trend as well. You must have your directional bias, stick to it, place the trade, set your stop loss, of course, calculate your risk appropriately, and accept the outcome. Because anything could happen. It could drop back to about 90K, it could push higher to the 125K, it could even break. Use this as an area of support and push higher. Because as you can see, it has only acted as resistance. So until it breaks, pushes back, it should then act as support and then use that as a launching pad to push higher. So this is price. These are the things that price could do. So we've looked at what price did earlier, that people were talking about crash, but it wasn't just a crash. So just price hitting a resistance area, reacting to it. And of course, there was profit taking in this area as well. And the price went back down to this area of former resistance that acted as support. And then it is presently there. So is it going to act as support and push higher, or is it going to drop? Only time will tell. One thing I would also say is that you could drop down to lower time frames and to look for clues on the lower time frames. But don't forget, this area here is very important. So this could easily act as supply. In another video, I'll talk about supply and demand zones. But for now, we're leaving this as how to trade the Bitcoin using support and resistance. Now, this video, if this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up you have any questions, use the comment section below, ask your questions, and let's see what we can do. If you want us to analyze any other instrument of choice, it could be gold, because gold also has been extremely bullish. It could be the Euro USD or whatever. You can put your comments below and then we'll see what we can do. Okay, thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of the day. Trade safely and goodbye for now. Cheers.